The O'Neill-Able government, following its formation in Alatau in 2017, decided to unlock the potential of agriculture, including coffee, to finance increase in the national expenditure as per the Alatau Accord 2 and the Medium-Term Development Plan 3, or MTDP-3 in short. The MTDP-3 covers the period beginning from 2018 to 2022. The coffee industry in Papua New Guinea is anticipated to produce and export the following volumes per year: 1.1 million bags in 2018, 1.3 million bags in 2019, 1.5 million bags in 2020, 1.7 million bags in 2021, and 2 million bags in 2022. The challenge for the coffee industry is to increase the national production and revenue, including that of blocks and plantations, to capture the national government's goals and aspirations. Coffee is an important and integral part of Papua New Guinea culture and business. It was one of few main cash crops that convinced our founding fathers that the territory of Papua and New Guinea was ready to free herself from colonial and foreign influence. After 43 years of independence, coffee continues to play a significant role in the economy of Papua New Guinea, contributing on average between 600,000 and 800,000 bags, bringing in the much needed foreign exchange. In 2017, coffee exports brought in close to 450 million kina in revenue.
When the plantation and block sectors were in their peak production period in the 70s and the 80s, the plantation and block sectors also provided for and looked after the smallholders surrounding them. They provided the technical support and financial support to also look after the smallholder coffees around where the blocks and plantations were. Today, from the blocks and plantation sectors that contributed up to 30% to 40% of the coffee in Papua New Guinea, is now reduced significantly down to 10 to 15% of the industry, with the smallholders now contributing well over 85% of the coffee in this country. And also the coffee quality was also associated with the plantation and blocks coffee.
According to Coffee Industry Corporation's latest statistic report from 2006 to 2016, the national coffee production has declined on average by 2%, with a record drop in 2015 to 733,831 bags. The coffee production in the last decade, or between 2007 and 2017, recorded an average of 977,000 bags per year.
One of the reasons why the plantations and blocks are not fully producing is because There's less input into it, meaning there's less people attending to coffee rehabilitation programs. That also reflect on the level of extension services that are provided to plantation and blocks. At that time, also CIC took some reforms in its operation, and the CIC was amalgamated, and of course, number of extension staff were reduced, and now we have less extension staff. So many of our extension staff were concentrating more on smallholders than block holders and plantations. And that's where we were concentrating all our effort, including research, focusing on smallholders only. But we realized that we cannot increase the production.
In the last 10 years, between 2011 and 2017, bulk of the exports were produced by smallholders who account for between 82 and 89%. The blocks and plantations account for between 11 and 18% only. This is a marginal contribution from only 20 blocks and plantations that have been reduced from 60. A study conducted by International Coffee Organization shows that during a 20-year period, overall coffee production in Papua New Guinea has decreased by 16% in the period beginning from 2012 to 2016 compared to 1992 to 1996 period. On average, production by plantation and block sector decreased by 70%.
Smallholders, though they are holding up the industry, they're subject to change their input level, meaning that as and when they want to get into coffee production or coffee business or sort of gardening, they will go as and when they require at their own timing. But we realize that coffee is a business, and now we have to change the mentality, meaning that we have to focus on business aspect of coffee. So that's why we want to get rehabilitation of plantation and blocks back.
For the last 20 or 30 years, me plan to have looking for all CIC, I come out all plantations now, all block holders. You plus come visit me plan as like me plan all block holders here. Me plan second law plantations here. Me place a contributing big coffee through one side law, export law every year, yeah. But you plan to look savel on me plan. You plan to see me plan out now, you plan go down or get all small holders, that's all.
During the active days for blocks and plantations, close to 200,000 bags were produced by the plantations or larger estates as recorded in the year 2000. Coffee production from blocks also reached close to 200,000 in 2011. These coffee plantations, mostly growing Arabica varieties, are concentrated in Western Highlands, Jiwaka, Eastern Highlands, and Morobe Province. Some of the notable firms or names in the plantation sector were Gumans, Wagimac, Harrisons and Crossfields, Oak Corporation, W.R. Carpenters, Enco Coffee, Coburn Pty Ltd, Kainantu Community Business or KKB, and Eastern Highlands Development Corporation. The ownership of the plantations were dominated by foreign planters in the 1950s. In the late 1970s, Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare government decided for the transfer of the plantation sector to the locals. The interested locals formed companies and business groups within individual tribes to purchase the coffee plantations through a loan arrangement with the former Agriculture Bank.
Managing plantation and blocks, it's very costly. So when you cannot meet the cost of running blocks and plantation, of course the plantation will eventually run down. And that actually happened in 1992 upward. Since then, almost all the management of coffee blocks and plantation at that time went back into receivership. In other words, the landowners, they came in and took over the management of blocks and plantations. And that was one of the reasons why many of the plantations did not survive today.
Planti lo mipla all block holders. Mipla got at least 20 to 30 hectares coffee where mipla got lo Guinea. Mipla line lo place here. Na lo running lo management side. Lo financially na sila kain about here. Also mipla no got clear ting. But lo planning coffee na lo look out in coffee here. Mipla got sabe lo look out in coffee na. Lo planning na lo maintaining na sila kain about.
The demise of blocks and plantations were due to many factors. Among the list, the dispute amongst the landowners, law and order, the cost of inputs, and the cost of labor and security, consequently leading to ineffective public relations with the local people.
We cannot rehabilitate the blocks and plantation using the conventional modality, the conventional way that it was done in the past, because the cost of inputs and particularly the cost of labor and the cost of security is so high that if anyone wants to go and rehabilitate a block of 20 hectare plus or plantation of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 hectares, he or she will find it very difficult against the current trend. The owners of the coffee plantations could not continue to rehabilitate and maintain their plantation. The CIC, therefore, must now look towards a new and a better modality to rehabilitate the blocks and plantations, which is an important sector of the coffee industry.
I see that farmer to farmer, using traditional social structure, we can truly build a resilient community that will want to work their coffee to improve their living standard.
When the lead partner, Jacob Taro, came to CIC PPAP office, I informed him that under the current funding arrangements, the project will not rehabilitate a 20 hectare under 1%. He was advised to go and talk back to the owners of the blocks to subdivide those blocks into 4 or 5 hectares so that it becomes manageable and also fits also within the PPAP modality of rehabilitating coffee up to only 5 hectares.
AgroDev Trade Limited is one of 27 lead partners implementing 48 projects serving 34,178 households under Coffee Industry Corporation's Productive Partnerships in Agriculture Project, or commonly referred to as CIC PPAP. AgroDev Trade Ltd is delivering the project in parts of Day Council area in Western Highlands and also in parts of Jiwaka Province. It is currently working with 605 block holders in reviving 20 to 30 hectares of rundown blocks that are subdivided into a manageable 4.5 hectare blocks on a clan-by-clan basis.
In the funding that we have received is 1.63. We have only used 1 million kina. We already have an extension system established. We have trained farmers in coffee agronomy, the good agricultural practices. But that came after a lot of work in getting them into groups, functional groups that can meet, that can decide for themselves what direction they want to take.
Ibla sabo sem coffee device ta or baba blainim a company bagarap management bagarap or bagarap finish but this la 32 la mana mi blonim this la coffee sta because ina AgroDev Jacob Taro even bringing this la PPAP World Bank project come up. A time I bringing this la project come up. and we try to organize me bla 32 bla man. To come work one time. Na rehabilitating this project come up with one bla plantation. But in the system bla me bla and me bla holding na again steps. Then I'm like putting one bla looking for some hard work one time. Then I'm bringing all this 30 bla line come inside. And this 30 bla now all stop inside and all farm bla all stop and into this PAAP World Bank project. I'm all work one time lead partner now.
Now agro-debt management one time World Bank na PPA project come inside long house line na me bla work boom one time na me bla work underneath long policy long agro-debt management me bla looking for weeks some strong more some leaf na bin em karam tu em drive la through where me bla bigem na me bla ko salim cherry too and bin ni got more weight na if win him weight before me bla sa bigem long na me bla is money in win him before me bla yet him manage him na bigem na ga stop lo.
The CIC PPAP funds inputs like rehabilitation tools, quality improvement materials, coffee seedlings, and trainings on coffee husbandry and livelihoods. The lead partners only distribute the tools with materials and also facilitate appropriate trainings. This is done at a minimum cost, which is 5% of the goods budget to the farmers.
To revive it as a plantation it's a very big challenge. Because right now many of our plantations are in the hands of smallholders or the landowners. So the only way to revive those big plantation and blocks is to go back to our landowners and work with them. Because they already own the blocks and of course they also own the land.
As a service provider, AgroDev is using the farmer-led group extension service approach under PPAP modality to foster group cohesiveness. The PPAP modality has identified a way forward to privatize and at the same time localize the extension services.
We are looking at a sustainability or sustainable modality so that we make a one-off investment into rehabilitating the blocks and plantations, and they will continue on to maintain and grow those blocks and plantations simply because the ownership and the management of those blocks becomes very manageable, and the ownership still remains with the owners of the blocks and plantations with a manageable family.
The PPA modality is very good in terms of setting the ground rules right. We have accounts, physical records. We have monitoring, quarterly, monthly reports. We have auditing of our field and financial records. These are the things that are needed in the industry. I think PPAP is very good in this. It is not just provision of funding. It is a provision of a system where accountability is done. Training is facilitated. The private sector is assisted to build a supply chain to the market to have impact in the livelihoods of people.
The AgroDev's rehabilitation activities under PPAP is having a ripple effect on the non-PPAP farmers residing within the project area. An additional 18 large blocks covering 131 hectares have been rehabilitated. Total area rehabilitated has increased from 330 to 461 hectares. This effort is still continuing today, with more blocks being revived successfully.
In this modality, a lot more coffee growers will be trained in how to look after, rehabilitate their coffee gardens. They're no longer passive, they're no longer laborers in the plantation, but they will be trained how to make good nurseries, how to plant it, how to grow their coffee, how to rehabilitate it. So all the training and skills plus the tools and materials are being provided for. And therefore you could see the sustainability with the knowledge is now no longer with one person, but the knowledge is now been spread with men, women, children, able and disabled. They're all trained, and therefore the knowledge base stays within the community for them to continue on looking after the coffee.
In the vicinity of Goroka town is a 90-hectare rundown plantation owned by Nathan Gomai and family. The plantation owner and family decided to subdivide the entire plantation into blocks and give ownership to the first to third generation of plantation workers and also the surrounding local villagers on a consensual lease arrangement. Nathan owns a 43-hectare coffee plantation at Ipalgu and a 37-hectare plantation at Gomena with an additional 10-hectare block. They are all located in the Ward 4 Council area of Goroka district.
We had never had any government support, although we tried to under the National Development Plan scheme. We have never been able to access any government fund in the past. The bank itself do not want to assist in the coffee industry. Basically, they had the fact that coffee industry, especially the plantation sector, was associated with a lot of problems. So the banks did not want to even assist or didn't even want to put their kina into helping plantations and anything to do with coffee.
The cost to rehabilitate and maintain the plantation was a major obstacle for Nathan.
I tried a lot of concept to overcome all these social problems, especially stealing of cherry coffee. I tried to get police personnel into the plantation to protect the coffee, but these things were continuous, so we tend to spend a lot of money, especially on the security. We didn't have enough money to even hire a lot of security to protect the coffee. In fact, most of the securities were involved in the stealing of the coffee. So every year I tried different approach to see which approach could work for me. So this year in 2018, I came up with the idea that I have to cut blocks, subdivide the whole plantation and give it to the people living around the community of the plantation, to the former workers especially, and their families, so that they can look after the coffee. They will provide their own labor, they will provide their own security, and then they will sell the coffee back to me for 1 kina, the factory price in town. From that concept, I saw that I didn't spend a lot of money on hiring people to work for me. At the same time, I received more coffee from the farmers, from my own coffee.
The approach taken by Nathan is a simple mathematics formula. He decided to share the labor and security cost with his plantation workers rather than dealing with all the problems in one basket.
I have an MOA with them. I have an agreement with them that was signed with the village court magistrate. I have about 10 or 15 things that they should do and they should not do in order for them to renew the contract every year. But yes, we do have a formal agreement with the farmers. Anything to do with stealing, anything to do with doing the things out of the contract will result in the termination of the contract. That was signed with the courts and witnessed by the police.
The block holders and the plantation owner sign an agreement that gives the farmers access to the land to manage and harvest from the respective blocks. In this arrangement, all the coffee cherries are sold back to the plantation owner or Nathan.
James Gomai na Papa James semtai na pini gua belum Nathan stop belum luar tu mi bla coffee stop sem time blogan na Martin coffee em stop right lili iwo na time kamu sem coffee em go bagrab so em sem planti mantu kami set na boost to grow na kaino sem so now Nathan em gatung group latin now am to mi blog on check game los la coffee block na you mo gada em kadimono nectas na gimi bla.
By giving back ownership to the people, It has eliminated all those social problems of that we face, stealing, lack of wages, salary, and all the problems that we usually face in the plantation sector. Our problems is gone.
Now most you pick him keke. Some play you simlo school fee roll picking any. Some play you panic keke play you me yet. Some play most you go lausi go. Kim supply lausi go. This time I'm helping blow good. The me blow to blow one bello tintin blow one. I think blow dos. I think I'm good blow tintin so. People cooperate one time now. So one on block I'm cutting like play or some play hectare most me blow only most on coffee blow you mean that you will go to was a garden blow you me.
Meanwhile, Ian Matthews, the owner of Arakura Coffee Ltd, a Goroka-based coffee roaster, has taken the risk in using a business-to-business model supporting 12 block holders in the Bena district of Eastern Highlands Province. The blocks are between 10 and 30 hectares, initially owned and managed by Eastern Highlands Development Corporation in the 1980s. The plantation was relinquished due to the company's liquidation in the early 2000s.
This plantation have been only management only work good so only losing law 1998 is the time. Na mipla online papa ground or place mipla stop close law. When I'm up and mipla stop law and mipla come inside na before the coffee bagarap mipla kisim broken kisim really happen mipla look out him mipla come inside the 2000 street. Yen em one cherry buyer na before him stop na em painim cherry coffee come lo here too na some time em say kisim cherry coffee belum pla one line na em say karim go igo na em look sabelo mipla one mipla look sabelo go na ye 2000 street em miyet mi stop on the yen 2000 na all sambla bratas lo yato you can look in some leaf lo coffee stop na all sla grassy clean lo as lo coffee em supply mi pla one tel kramoxon fertilizer na em now you stop one tel marokaro
na mi pla fama yet you misabe golongen mi pla sa toki o se mi pla kisima mi pla lai bai mol o se fertilizer you mi short na ba you mix mol fertilizer or round up or some chemical ba you make en kisim na or some you mi spray mol some or something or some orati emia em sabe tok em no sabe tok nogat em sabe tok yesas or sana mi to you come na kisim na em say we talk you want something like him na give him you go farm set so you mi say kisim or farm set mo go emiet kisim na okay or magi blow and give him or say can give me bla.
Arakura Coffee operates as a marketing partner for the block holders with no cost to the government. The company provides advances or credits and other inputs to the block holders who then organize the labor and inputs for the respective blocks and land. The risks under this business model is high. If all goes well, Arakura Coffee recovers its funds through deductions from the coffee sales. This relationship between the marketing partner and the block holders had grown from strength to strength.
Time coffee mi pikim mi sa sanaplo lek blomiet. Igo na time coffee like finish na halvim white man like give him. I'm say give him lo coffee like finish na. Mi plan rat money logan time I'm say give him halvim. Na I'm say halvim mi plus have cut him grass na spray I'm say halvim plow this la. Lo marasin okay lo money or something I'm say help him pla. Time mi pla finish na mi plus to ask him lo halvim lo buy or workman lo mi pla I'm say give me pla money. So mi plus I come now mi plus I buy more workman lo mi pla. Time lo season come now. Hamas mi pla kisim longen. Mi pla pick him coffee or him saxim cherry go. So him sa rouse him. Kind of him lo 1,000. Him sa rouse him 200 or 300. Him sa rouse him o sem. Igo him sa finish him mogada. Nogat him igo na finish coffee finish. Him sa hold him up next year can. Him no sa logi pla kadina. Him sa help me pla moyet. Give me pla money. Give me pla marasin. Give me plus supply, me plus I can work it, and buy me play it, edim lo dina. And me plus I work mo sem lo me pla.
The support given by Arakura Coffee is a blessing indeed for the block holders who have been struggling on their own without any government or bank support.
When I click money when Mr. Kisim law, coffee, Mr. Usim the slalo, all big walk with me, thing also me by walking logania. Mr. Kisim all walk man also walking. Okay, lo side lo picas here, and mix him all picas na Mr. Paymall. Now all the sudden los two I go on top, all picas to come complain now. Now me buy more 30 to yellow 1 kilo, yeah, and me go on top. Now money MSI go, yeah.
All man thing also all money, and me got coffee and me got money. That's why me blow skin you make him round nice. Now me blow got him coffee. Now you make a lot of coffee, you bring him money, he come to country.
How much mix silo 1 year na? Mr. walking go. Time me go sort low money now. And me go stop now. Me go stop, me go up next year now. Coffee mau again now. And me pick him now, me walk him again. So that's like 35 hectare coffee blow me and he come I think now 10 or 15 hectare me lose him na. And bus karam up him now because you don't got enough money. Lo manage him.
Now people of farmer, me help him country. Now government, why you make even me people of farmers? You help him people, why you may help him country too? Now this like me help him country and you know plan him cacao or pineapple. No, what you me plan him coffee, eh?
Coffee growers are very hardworking people. Regardless of the support from the government, from financial institution, we still contribute our fair share to the national economy. Last year we contributed about 15 tons. Next year we hopefully might increase that export. We're doing a fair bit into exporting and bringing foreign currency into the country. We have never complained one bit. We have never stopped the Highlands Highway. We have never stopped any airport because of royalty payments, because of lack of government support. Coffee growers, we are very hardworking people and we will still contribute our fair share to the national economy. And we will ensure that this industry is kept alive by hardworking people, hardworking farmers.
The changing mindset of new generations who want a more active or participatory role in the coffee sector is a common feature in the three models.
I am now calling on the CIC to assist us if they are serious about rehabilitation of the plantation and the block sector in the country, to assist with chemicals, roundup, knapsack, things that will enable us to get the weeds and bushes under control, and a basic maintenance of the plantation before we talk about any big things for the industry and for the coffee. These tools and chemicals will cost a few thousands of kina, and I am calling on the CIC to intervene to assist in this area of coffee rehabilitation in the plantation and block sector.
The potential benefits in rehabilitation of blocks and plantations are quite significant. In addition to increasing coffee from the ideal land, they provide a nuclear estate for spin-off benefits in regards to community development.
It is now shown, it's proven, we can cost effectively, under this modality, we can easily rehabilitate a very high hectares of coffee, in this case 1.6 million kina to rehabilitate 300 plus. We can use 2 million kina to rehabilitate 400 or 500 hectares of blocks and plantation, as long as we use this modality where the blocks and plantation are subdivided and given back to landowners or those who have settled on the plantations, for them to rehabilitate under support, funding support of inputs. We only provide inputs and training, and they provide the labor and the security towards rehabilitating. And then they, from the coffee they produce, the cherries, they can sell it back to the owner of the coffee plantation or blocks. In this way, we can see a gradual increase or contribution back to the increase in the coffee industry by rehabilitating the blocks and plantation sectors of our coffee industry.